Hey everyone, welcome to Amy Ulmer Yoga. There's a link in the description if you would like to donate. The yoga will always be free. If it will put a financial strain on you to donate, you don't need to. But if you're able, you're helping to spread free yoga. So we will go ahead and get started in child's pose. You may want a couple of blocks handy. So just take your knees wide, bring your big toes together to touch, and shift your hips back towards your heels. Stretch your arms out in front. You could always rest your forehead on a block if it doesn't easily reach the floor. And just begin to take a couple of deep breaths, allowing the hips to settle and move back and down. Stretching your arms out in front, spreading the fingers wide just to start to open the shoulders. Taking another deep breath. Just releasing all other thoughts. We're going to walk our hands over to one side, to the left side, stretching out your right side. Take a breath into your right side. You can take the right hand on top of the left. And slowly start to walk the hands back to center. And then walk them over to the right. You can take the left hand on top of right and just start to breathe into your left side, stretching that side. Gently walk the hands back to center. Come to the all fours. Bring the knees under the hips, the wrists under the shoulders. Start to walk your hands forward. Bring your forehead down to the mat. Keep your hips over your knees. Puppy dog pose. You might even be able to bring your chin down. Keep your ribs and navel pulling in. And then start to walk your hands back. Keep them about a palm print in front of your shoulders. Tuck your toes and lift your hips up and back to down dog. And then if you'd like, you can pedal out the feet, bending one knee, straightening the opposite leg, and then just going back and forth, letting the head hang. And then back to down dog. Take another breath here. Spread your fingers wide, firm your forearms in, but spin your biceps forward. Walk your hands slowly back to your feet. Forward fold at the back of the mat. Bend your knees as much as you need to Option to take hold of opposite elbows. And if it feels good to sway side to side, you can sway. And then bring your hands to your hips. Inhale with a long flat back. Come on back up to stand. Bring your feet a little closer together. Big toes touch the heels a little farther apart. Bend into your knees and reach your arms by your ears. So chair pose. Sink the hips back and down. Bring some weight into the heels. And then bring your hands down. Slowly bring your knees down. Come to hands and knees. Slide the hands forward. Arch your back like cow pose. And then as you exhale, tuck the toes. Lift the hips up and back. Down dog. Trying to keep that slight arch in the low back, or just lengthening out your back as much as you can. Inhale your right leg up and back. Bend the knee. Roll the hip open. And then as you exhale, step that foot up and then lower your back knee down. Inhale, reach your arms up, low lunge, Anjane Asana. Let the hips sink forward and down. And then hands come down, step back, down dog. Take a breath here. And then slowly walk your hands back towards your feet. Come back to that forward fold at the back of the mat. Hands to hips. Inhale, long flat back. Come all the way up to stand. Bring the feet a little closer together as you may have brought them hip distance for down dog. Sink the hips, reach the arms by the ears, chair pose. Bring a little weight into the heels. Lower the hips, lower, lower, lower. Bring the hands down, bring the knees down, slide the hands forward, arch your back. Cow pose, exhale, lift the hips up and back, down dog. Stretching out, keeping that long back. Spreading the fingers wide. And inhale your left leg up and back, bend the knee and roll the hip open. Exhale, step the foot through, lower the back knee down, inhale, low lunge. And let the hips come forward and down, pull the left hip back a little bit. Hands come down, step back, down dog. And then slowly walk the hands back to a forward fold at the back of the mat. Hands, interlace your fingers this time behind you. Let the fists go up and over any amount. Keep a little bend in your elbows. Try to keep the heels of the hands together. Then release. Come on up, hands to hips. Bring the feet together. Big toes touch the heels a little bit apart. Sink the hips, reach the arms by the ears. Chair pose. And lower down, bring the hands down, bring the knees down, cow. So arching the back and then tucking the toes, lifting the hips back, down dog as you exhale. Inhale the right leg up and back. Bend the knee, roll the hip open. Exhale, step the right foot through. Bring your back knee down. Inhale, reach your arms by your ears. Low lunge, hands come down, step back, down dog. Slowly walk your hands back towards your feet, forward fold at the back of the mat. Interlace your fingers behind you. Allow the fist to go up and over. Little bend in the elbows. Then hands to your hips. Inhale, come on up with the flat back. And chair pose. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Really let your hips go back and down. Then the hands come down, the knees come down. Cow, arching the back. Exhale, stretch the hips up and back. Down dog. Inhale the left leg up and back, bend the knee and roll the hip open. Then step it through, lower your back knee down, low lunge. Hands come down, step back to down dog. Bring both knees down. And we'll send the left leg back, extending it, rolling your outer left hip back down, and then reaching your right arm forward, reaching through those limbs and pulling the belly in and up. Now, option to bend your back knee, reach with your right hand for the left foot, kick the foot into the hand. If you're able, stretching the quad, or just stick with bird dog. Release. Reach the right arm forward, left leg back, and then come back to the all fours. And reach your right leg back and flex the foot. Roll the outer right hip down. Reach your left arm forward. Pull the belly in and up. Really reach through the limbs. Option to bend the back knee. Reach the left arm, left hand back for the foot. Kick the foot into the hand. Totally optional. And release back to bird dog. Reach the left arm forward, right leg back. And then release, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, down dog. Bend your knees, gaze forward between the hands, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold all the way. Inhale, press through the feet, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Come to the top of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, fingers to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to plank lower, either all the way or halfway down chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. In up dog, you're on the tops of the feet, thighs are lifted. Exhale, lift the hips up and back, down dog. Inhale your right leg up and back. This time we'll keep the hips level, step that foot through, spin your back heel flat, warrior two. So line up front heel through back arch. The front heel intersects with back arch. Keep your right knee over your ankle. Keep your back leg strong. The outer edge of the foot is parallel to the back edge of the mat or turn slightly in. Pull your right hip back and pin it in. And lift your left inner thigh a bit, firming it. Now, bend your right elbow, take your left hand on top, and work your right palm down the back. Option to stay there, or take your left thumb down and around and see if fingers can catch fingers, or you can hold on to your shirt. If you get a better stretch, keeping the left hand on top of right elbow, stick with that. Now you're looking towards the long edge of the mat, bending a little more into your right knee. Roll your left shoulder open, release to warrior two. Come forward to get some length and reverse your warrior. And then cartwheel your arms down. Step back to down dog or plank, moving through a vinyasa or just going straight to down dog. And up dog, roll the shoulders open. Exhale, down dog. Good. Spread your fingers wide, firm your forearms in, spin your biceps forward. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, step it through to warrior two, or you can pick it up and put it there. Cartwheel open to warrior two. So left heels over left ankle. And left heel intersects with the back arch. You're pulling your left hip back, pinning it in, lifting from the right inner thigh, sinking a little deeper. Back arm as high as your front. Mine definitely is not. There we go. And then we'll bend your left elbow, taking the left elbow up towards the ceiling, right hand to the elbow, working the left palm down the back. Option to take the right thumb down and around, clasping fingers. It's harder for me on this side. Reach up through your left elbow, roll your right shoulder back, sink into warrior two, then release the arms to warrior two. Come forward, flip the left palm, reverse your warrior. Cartwheel your arms down, either go straight to down dog or inhale to plank, shift forward, lower chaturanga or all the way down. Inhale up dog or low cobra and exhale down dog. Take your time. Inhale the right leg up and exhale, step it through warrior two again. Adjust your stride if you need to. Interlace your fingers behind you. Roll the shoulders open. Again, you're facing long edge of the mat. Now take the fists in front in your right hip crease and then broaden across your chest. Draw your shoulder blades together and down the back, getting a little more shoulder opening before the back bends. Release to warrior two. Again, reverse. Let the left hand slide down the back leg. And then cartwheel your arms down. Go straight to down dog or child's pose, or take your vinyasa, shifting forward, shoulders no lower than elbows. Inhale to up dog or cobra, rolling the shoulders open. Exhale, down dog. Inhale the left leg up and back. And exhale, step the foot through, warrior two. Interlace your fingers behind you, roll the shoulder heads back, take the fists into the left hip crease, and then broaden across your chest. Draw the shoulder blades together, bend into the left knee, keeping left knee over the ankle, pressing the inner knee to outer knee. Back to warrior two. Come forward, flip the left palm reverse. Let the right hand slide down the back leg. Keep the bend in the knee. Cartwheel your arms down and go to down dog however you would like, either straight there or through your vinyasa, all the way to the floor or halfway, meeting back in down dog. You always have the option to press pause, rest in child's pose. And then we'll Bend the knees, gaze forward, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold all the way. Inhale, press through the feet, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. And chair pose. Sink the hips, reach the arms by the ears, pull the belly in and up, hands to heart. Exhale, bring your right elbow across, hook it on the left thigh. Lift your heart to your hands and pull your right hip back. So make sure one knee's not sticking out in front of the other, twisting from above the waist. Then come back to chair pose, hands to heart. Exhale, take the left elbow across to your right thigh. Pull your left hip crease back. Bring your heart towards your hands. And then back to chair pose. Release, forward fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, step your back to plank. Come forward, lower chaturanga or to the floor. Inhale on the tops of the feet, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Come forward to plank and lower all the way down, either through the knees or straight down. And we'll bring the hands a little forward. Interlace your fingers at your butt. Inhale, lift your chest and your legs. Yet keep your belly pulling in and up strongly. Spin your upper inner thighs up towards the ceiling. Firm them in. Shalabhasana, locust pose. Breathe into your chest. Then lower down and then up dog. Inhale, come on into up dog, and then exhale to down dog. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, step it up. Stay on the ball of the back foot and come to high lunge. Bend your back knee a little bit. Pull your right hip back. Now lower if you have no knee issues. Hover the back knee towards the floor and inhale. Extend the leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, straighten the back leg. And then bend the back knee. And then straighten the back leg. Try to keep the hips low. Bend the back knee and straighten. One more. Lower the knee if you can. Hands to heart. Exhale, take the left elbow across. Hook it on the right thigh. You can always bring the back knee down. Again, lifting heart to hands, twisting from above the waist. Pulling your right hip back, pulling it in, keeping that back leg strong and straight at the knees lifted. Option to fly your arms open. Hands come down, step back, down dog. Totally optional vinyasa. Inhale, the left leg. Not quite yet. Breathing in down dog, catching your breath. Left leg up and back. Step it through. Up by the left hand, ball of the back foot. Inhale, high lunge. Pull your left hip back. And then bend your back knee, hover it above the mat if you have no knee issues. And then straighten through the back leg. Keep the hips low. bend the back knee, hover, straighten through the back leg. Hover the back knee and straighten. Pull the belly in and up. Hover the back knee and straighten. Hands to heart. Hook your right elbow across and then lift your heart to your hands. Option to bring the back knee down. Otherwise, we're straightening through the back leg as best as you can. Fly your arms open if you want to take the twist a little deeper. Hands come down. Go to down dog however you want to get there, through a vinyasa or not. Option for child's pose. Inhale the right leg up and back. Exhale, step it through warrior two. Grabbing my block, placing it on the outside of the right foot. And then straightening the right leg, reaching the arms out to a T, shifting hips back, reaching as far forward as I can, then bringing the right hand down to block shin, foot, or floor, reaching up through the left arm and lengthening through the side body. Pressing down through the big toe mound of the right foot, not locking out in the right knee. Firming up through the legs, extending, gazing up at the top hand. Now take the hand over the arm over the ear, then circle it down and around behind you. Hook it in your right hip crease and roll your left shoulder open. Roll it back. Back to warrior two. Reverse. Cartwheel your arms down and go to down dog. Breathing here. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it through warrior two. You can set up with a block to the outside of the foot if you like. Extend the arms. Stretch your left leg straight, shift the hips back, bring the left hand to block shin, foot, or floor. Reach that right arm straight up. Lengthen through the side body. Then gaze up at the hand if you like. Take that left arm over the left ear, circle it down and around behind you. The right arm, hook it in your left hip crease and then roll your top shoulder open. You can keep gazing up if you like. Now look down at the front foot, extend the top arm up, come back to warrior two and reverse, bend into the left knee, cartwheel your arms down and go to down dog however you would like. And gaze to the hands. Exhale, slowly step the feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, half, and exhale, fold. Next inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, hands to heart. Shift the weight into your right foot. Bend your left knee, reach back with your left hand. I usually take the outer edge of the left foot, reach your right arm up, and then hinge at your right hip crease. Start to kick the foot into the hand. Dancer, you can bend into your right knee a little bit. especially if you have trouble balancing. You could even be at a wall. Kick, kick, kick the foot into the hand, then carefully come back to stand. We'll go right to the other side. Shift the weight into your left foot. Reach back for your right foot with your right hand. Reach your left arm by your ear. Hinge at your left hip crease and kick, kick, kick the foot into the hand. You can bend into your standing leg a little bit. The more you kick into your hand, the more steady you will be, believe it or not. And then release. Come back to stand, hands to heart. Inhale, reach the arms out, around, and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, step back, flowing through. You're in plank. Shift the weight into the right hand. Come onto the outer edge of your right foot. Stack or stagger your feet. So side plank. Stay there, or lift your right leg, step it back behind you. Wild thing. Come onto the ball of your right foot. Reach your right arm by your right ear. Stretch the front of the body. Now come back to plank. Go right to the other side. Shift the weight into the left hand. Come on to pinky toe edge of left foot. Stack or stagger the feet. Stay there, or float your right leg up, then step it behind you. Come onto the ball of the foot. Reach the right arm by your right ear. Stretch out the front of the body. And then back to plank. And bring the knees down for a well-deserved rest in child's pose. And then we'll come on to the belly. Forearms. You can either have the forearms like an 11 with the palms down on the mat, or you can interlace fingers, which makes it a little easier, especially if you have tight shoulders. And then we're setting up for dolphin. So tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back. You can bend the knees as much as you need to, especially if you find yourself rounding a lot in the back. Spin the biceps forward, wrapping the outer arms back, that wrap of your arms. Now step your feet back about a foot. Come into forearm plank. So your hips are level with your shoulders. And breathe. Press the backs of the knees up. Reach the chest forward, the heels back. And then start to walk your feet back into dolphin, lifting the hips up and back. Little bit of shoulder opening and core work. Keep with your steady breath. Step the feet back to forearm plank. And reach the chest forward, the heels back. Press the backs of the knees up. Whole body engaged, and then step the feet forward. Come back to dolphin. Bring your knees down, child's pose. And we'll come to a high kneeling position with the knees under the hip points, and then we'll take the hands to the low back, lengthen your tailbone towards the floor, and then with the hands at the low back, just start to lift your chest, coming into camel, little back bend, reaching the sternum up, keeping some engagement in your belly, and then coming on up. And then this time you can stick with that, or try to reach back for your heels at the same time. So rather than touching one and then the other. See if you can go back into your back bend, reaching for the heels, touching them at the same time. Lift your sternum up towards the ceiling. And then hands to your low back. If they're not there already, come on up. And then we will make our way into down dog, stretching out. Rocking forward to plank, and then lowering all the way down to the belly. And we'll bring our hands by our sides, setting up for locust. So pressing the pubic bone down, inhaling, lifting the chest, the legs, the arms, staying there, bending the knees, catching the feet, inhaling into bow. Breathing into the chest, lifting the thighs if it's available, then releasing, resting your right cheek down. Head to center. Again, you can stick with locust or take bow. Inhale, lifting into locust. Option to bend the knees, catch the feet, and then lifting up even more if you can into bow. Lifting the feet up with the hands. Bringing the chest into the upper back. Release. Rest your left cheek down. Take a moment to catch your breath. And then we will roll right on over to our backs. So we'll come on to the backs, knees bent, heels, ankles under knees. Little engagement in the belly, hands by your sides, palms down. Press through the feet, lift the hips, stay there or interlace your fingers and roll the shoulders under. Then you can stay there, reach the arms overhead, bring the hands by your ears, the elbows point straight up. Inhale, option to lift up onto the crown of your head and then all the way up into Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow pose. Don't let your feet turn out or your knees splay. Reach your chest towards the wall you're looking at. Keep length and then tuck the chin. Land carefully on your shoulders. Come down. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. Can rest a hand on your belly, a hand on your heart if you like. And we'll set up for another back bend, either bridge or Urdhva Dhanurasana. Reach or come into bridge or bring the hands by your ears. Inhale, lift up onto the crown of your head for a second and then straighten the arms, reaching your chest towards the wall you're looking at, your shins towards the other wall. Really bringing the back bend into your upper back. Firming your inner thighs in. And tuck the chin, land carefully on your shoulders, soles of the feet together, knees wide. Taking a moment here. Should we do one more? I think we should. So we'll bring the feet to the mat. And option for bridge or wheel. If you're taking wheel, bring the hands by the ears, elbows point straight up. Inhale, lift up onto the crown of the head, then up all the way, pressing through the hands and feet, keeping the length, reaching the chest towards the wall that you're looking at. Breathe, and then tuck the chin, carefully lower. Carefully hug the knees in gently. And start to rock and roll along the spine, 2 to 3 rocks, coming eventually to a seat. Extending the legs out in front, sitting up nice and tall in staff pose. You could even roll up the back of the mat and sit on the edge or sit on the edge of a blanket so you can stick the butt out behind you and keep sitting up nice and tall. Bring your left knee in, let it open up to the side, sole of the foot to the right leg, right toes pointing straight up. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold, Janu Shirshasana. Inhale, lengthen the chest forward. Don't worry about getting down low. And then exhale, fold in a little more if it's available. As long as you're feeling a stretch in your right, or I guess it's just keep your right leg forward. I got confused there because I turned around in the video. So we'll bend the other leg, let it open out to the side. Inhale, reach your arms up, and exhale, fold over the extended leg. Inhale, reach your chest forward. And then as you exhale, come in a little deeper. Doesn't matter how far you go. Keep the toes pointing up towards the ceiling. And then inhale, start to come back up. And we'll come back onto your back. And hug the knees in. Take your feet down to the mat. Shift your hips off to the left and bring your knees over to the right. Gazing over the opposite shoulder. And gently bring the feet back down to the mat. Shift the hips off to the right and bring the knees in and over to the left. Gazing over the right shoulder. Spinning the belly gently up towards the ceiling. And coming back to center, extending or hugging the knees in, taking happy baby, reaching for the outer edges of the feet, drawing the knees down towards the armpits, lengthening the back on the mat. Option to rock side to side. Release. Let the feet go to the edges of the mat. Let the legs flop open, the arms flop open. Work your shoulder blades down the back. Lengthen the low back on the mat. Soften the muscles in the face. You can release everything into the mat. Release any controlled breathing. And really just letting go after all that rigorous work. Take as much time as you need here, or with your next inhale, let it be deeper. Wiggle the fingers on the toes. Circle the wrists and the ankles. Inhale, reach your arms by your ears and take a stretch. Bend one knee and then the other. Rolling very gently off to your favorite side, resting there in the fetal position. And then very gently walking yourself up. Sitting up nice and tall, however's comfortable, bringing the hands to the heart. Again, if you are able to contribute, there's a link in the description and you can donate. I thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to practicing with you again very soon. Namaste.